Oh. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Chair Janelle Wilkins, and today is March 17th, and this begins our bill hearings for the day. We have 4 bills on our agenda, and I'll remind everyone that sponsors have unlimited time, although we ask you not to use it, and 2 minutes for everyone else, please, and we'll be strict on that time. We're on a tight schedule as we have second session voting and several subcommittees today. So the first bill, Mr. Chair, thank you for your patience. We know we need to get you back to your committee and your other duties. House Bill 1623, Montgomery County Delegation Bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. House Bill 1623, on behalf of myself, Delegate Mark Corman, Delegate Sarah Walk, and Delegate Warman. Drummond is a little village in our district, 41 homes. It's an existing special taxing district. Their charter is just very out of date, and so they asked us for a local bill to update some of the language in their charter. In terms of substantive changes, it changes some names. It puts in some standards about how often they have to meet, things like that, but there's no change to the taxing provisions, which I know are of primary interest to this committee, but mostly it's just updating the language for the modern era, and would ask for your favorable vote for this local bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Any questions? All right, seeing no questions, that ends the bill hearing on House Bill 1623. Thank you. Next bill, Delegate Ebersol, House Bill 1612.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I bring none of my guests up because I don't have any. Thank you, Madam Chair, Madam Vice Chair. I bring to you House Bill 1612. I'm Eric Ebersol. This legislation we've seen before in some form or another. It's even nicer than it was before. This legislation builds on work that we have done to bring transparency and accountability to the rapidly growing sports wagering market. As the industry continues to expand, we need guardrails. They're becoming so necessary. Members may recall that when we did this legislation, it was subsequently amended in the House in a way that addressed many of the concerns raised by stakeholders and members. Unfortunately, it didn't quite make it through last year. This legislation continues by requiring sports wagering operators that advertise in Maryland to utilize licensed independent evaluators to review and rate sports wagering content, experts, influencers, and content partners. This helps ensure Maryland consumers receive accurate and transparent information in an environment that increasingly relies on digital marketing and influencer promotion. Just as a quick example, gambling platforms will offer points on a game. They might say, we're going to take, let's do it, Howard +3 because they're going to lose, okay? And then they say, well, not enough people are betting on Howard +3, so let's offer +7. But then it could be that there is an influencer who is associated with that platform. And that influencer says, well, Howard +3 wasn't that good, but if you can get more than +4 or 5, you should take the bet. And that's exactly what the platform wants. That would be highly unethical, but they can pull it off because influencers and betting platforms overlap a bit. And so this would create a situation where groups would be, and this requires a minimum of 3 people to compete for this that are approved by the Lottery and Gaming Commission to say, yes, these are good evaluators, and each platform would then have to have an evaluator that made sure that they were playing by the rules the way they should. And so it maintains the guardrails contemplated originally, which was that there would be some competition. If you're thinking Sharp Ranks, don't think that anymore because Sharp Ranks has disappeared from the map because, well, we didn't give them anything to do. But there are plenty of, apparently, of similar organizations waiting for us to do this so that they can participate in making gambling more ethical and more straightforward, and so that people aren't influenced when they don't realize they are being so. And with that, I conclude my testimony, and I'll let you decide if I should take questions or not.
Thank you, Delegate, for this bill. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, that ends the bill here on House Bill 1612. Next up, Delegate Erican, House Bill 1418. Welcome to Ways and Means.
So kind. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Congratulations. This is my first time in front of your committee.
My friends and the vice chair of this committee, my name is Delegate Lauren Arkin for the record, Harford County. I am presenting to you today House Bill 1418. This bill is a bipartisan bill. It actually includes all of the members of my delegation. And I'll just give you a little background on where this bill came from and why I think it's so important. And I think it would benefit your jurisdictions as well as mine. This is a statewide bill, even though it includes just members as sponsors from my delegation. What we have found in our county, thanks to the reporting of Fox 45, is that multiple individuals that were charged with fairly serious crimes were actually in our school systems working. We do have a current policy that you're supposed to report to your school system if you are charged with a crime or convicted of a crime. However, there's not a lot of teeth in the current policy, and therefore it was not being enforced well. So we found that a gentleman that had been charged with 15 felony counts while he was serving as a police officer in another jurisdiction. He had been hired after he had been charged. We found that individual was charged with child pornography, was serving as a teacher in our jurisdiction. And we also found that someone who had been charged and convicted of gun crimes was actually working in our school system and then on the weekends going to jail. So because of this investigation by Fox 45, we decided to, as a delegation, to pull together a policy that would prevent that from happening not only in our jurisdiction, but in all of your jurisdictions as well, because we felt confident that no one really would support the idea that folks that have serious pending criminal charges would be teaching our students. In the case of the last gentleman, he was with some of our most vulnerable students. He was helping children with disabilities. We really want to make sure that the folks that we're hiring do not have severe and serious criminal penalties that are pending. So with that, what I have drafted for you is a bill that would do a couple of really important things. First of all, it would say, would expand the list of crimes that you would not be eligible to work in the school system if you have been charged with. But additionally, if you have been charged with a crime or have been convicted of a crime and you did not report it as you're required to, it would actually prevent you for being hired in either public or non-public schools for 5 years for a failure to report, which is what we've seen happen in our jurisdiction. So that is the goal of this legislation. It's to make sure that our children are safe in the classrooms, that folks who have pending serious criminal charges are not going to be hired by our school systems. And if they fail to report that they're no longer eligible to work, then there would be a penalty there for them that we think reflects the severity of the nature. So I'm happy to take any questions from the committee.
Thank you, Delegate, for this bill. Any questions from members of the committee? Okay, seeing none, thank you again.
Thank you very
That ends
much.
the bill hearing on House Bill 1418. The next bill is House Bill 1587. We will call up the witnesses, but the sponsor, I believe, is on her way. So we'll go ahead and call up the witnesses for now. I have Jerry Evans, Mary Lanham, Nathan Benefiel, Sushant Sid. There'll be a second panel after this panel.
Thank
but
you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. We will pause for just a moment.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We know members are juggling multiple bill hearings, so thank you, Delegate Patterson. We'll give her a moment to get settled, and then you can start when you're ready.
Thank you very much. All right, thank you very much for waiting. I was in another committee hearing. Good afternoon, Chair Wilkins, Vice Chair Fellmark, and members of the Ways and Means Committee. For the record, I'm Delegate Edith Patterson, sponsor of House Bill 1587, Gaming, Electronic Instant Bingo Machines. HB 1587 is a modernization bill that updates Maryland's bingo laws to reflect how the industry operates today and removes regulatory constraints that no longer serve a meaningful public purpose. The bill repeals an outdated limit on electronic bingo cards. It allows a reasonable increase in the number of machines at certain licensed facilities and eliminates the requirement that machines print a paper ticket for every game played. There are three things. First, the bill allows existing licensed electronic bingo locations in Anne Arundel and Calvert counties to modestly increase the number of machines they operate. This is not an expansion of gaming locations. Rather, these facilities have operated under a moratorium for nearly 20 years, 2 decades. They are fully regulated. They employ local workers and generate tax revenue for the state and for their counties. This change simply allows measured growth under the continued oversight of the Maryland Lottery and Gaming Control Agency. Secondly, the bill removes the requirement that a paper ticket print for every game. These tickets often serve little purpose and create unnecessary waste. House Bill 1587 allows players the option to print a ticket if they choose, while winning vouchers would still be printed to ensure prizes can be redeemed. And finally, the bill removes an outdated cap on the number of electronic bingo cards that may be played on handheld devices during live games. Electronic bingo is now widely used and helps players track numbers more accurately. The bill does not change the nature of the game. Numbers are still called live and players must be physically present. After nearly 20 years of experience with this technology, House Bill 1587 simply updates the laws to reflect current practices and remove restrictions that are no longer necessary. And for these reasons, I urge a favorable report on House Bill 1587. Thank you. There are some witnesses who would offer testimony.
Anyone can go next.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the House Ways and Means Committee. First, I want to thank the distinguished chair of the Gaming Subcommittee for sponsoring this bill. Thank you, Delegate Patterson. My name is Jerry Evans, and I have represented the bingo industry in Maryland for over 20 years. Thank you for this opportunity to submit this testimony in support of HB 1587. The machine cap frozen on February 28, 2008, has a practical effect of strangling these facilities. Maryland's broader gaming market has expanded enormously since 2008. 6 casinos now operate a combined total of approximately 11,500 slot machines. Meanwhile, small community bingo halls remain locked at the machine counts of 18 years ago. Allowing a modest increase in machine counts will enable these businesses to better serve their customers, remain viable, and continue supporting their community organizations. I might add to the committee as well that Washington, D.C. just enacted a law to allow commercial bingo machines in the nation's capital. They haven't placed any yet, but that was passed this last fall. The current requirement that a paper ticket be printed for every single instant bingo play is wasteful, costly, and environmentally burdensome. Forcing a paper printout for every game, regardless of whether the player wants it, generates mountains of discarded paper and increases operational costs for small businesses without any corresponding regulatory benefit. Let's talk about what the bill does not do. It's important to be clear about what HB 1587 does not do. It does not authorize any new electronic instant bingo facilities. It does not change the fundamental nature of the game. It does not convert electric instant bingo machines into slot machines or video lottery terminals. It does not require a constitutional referendum because it's not an expansion of gaming. Thank you.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the committee, and thank you for your time. My name is Nathan Benefio. I'm a lifetime resident of Anne Arundel County, and I'm here today on behalf of Arundel Amusements Incorporated, doing business as Bingo World in support of House Bill 1587. As Delegate Patterson and Mr. Evans have already stated, the constraints that this bill will ease will certainly help us with operational costs and just general inefficiencies, in addition to eliminating waste, and what actually does end up contributing to, on occasion, some hazardous conditions within the hall. Bingo World employs 120 employees up in Brooklyn Park, a diverse group, and we're, as with any other business, always trying to mitigate rising operational costs. We are in support of House Bill 1587. We believe it'll allow us to continue to operate and compete in the industry that we are in Maryland.
Madam Chair and members of the Ways and Means Committee, my name is Mary Lanham. I am the owner and president of Chesapeake Amusements, also known as Rod and Reel Bingo in Chesapeake Beach. I respectfully ask for a favorable vote for House Bill 1587. My family has served our community since 1946. I started working at the Rod and Reel in high school as a bingo floor clerk, and 40 years later, I am proud to continue the legacy of my parents and our commitment to serving our community. We have offered bingo since 1979 and electronic pull tab devices since 1995. Today, we operate 278 machines and employ over 200 team members. Our team members make up our Rod and Reel family. Many have been with us for more than a decade. We recently celebrated a team member who retired after 42 years of service, a true testament to the loyalty and lasting relationships our business builds. If House Bill 1587 passes, we anticipate hiring 50 additional team members, expanding good-paying jobs and career opportunities for local families. As a woman-owned, multi-generational business, giving back is at the heart of what we do. Through the Rod and Reel Gives Back program, we support youth sports, local schools, senior care facilities, the homeless shelter, local food banks, and many other programs. These aren't just donations, they are relationships built over generations. Since 2012, we have operated under full regulatory oversight of the Maryland Lottery and Gaming Commission. We recently completed a 7-year expansion project now offering 5 restaurants and 130 guest rooms. The passage of House Bill 1587 will allow us to protect the existing jobs, expand our community impact, and create new opportunities for the people we serve. Rod and Reel has been part of the community for 80 years, and we remain committed to serving others with integrity and strong family values. Thank you for your time and consideration. I respectfully ask for a favorable vote for House Bill 1587. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee, Sushant Sid. I'm actually here with the next panel, but also here for questions. I'll just add one thing. I know the committee has changed over a lot in the past several years, but just recognize that the casinos in Maryland were authorized to operate 16,500 machines, and they operate 9,000. So there's a delta of about 7,500 machines. All we're asking for is a pittance compared to what they have chosen not to operate because it makes more financial interest for them to use their floor space for other things. So I think that just want to make sure the committee has that in mind in case you're hearing from casinos in opposition to our bill. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Questions for this panel? I see Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So under the bill, you double the amount of the existing machines. I understand the point of we haven't changed in many, many, many years. There's certainly expansion in population. There's an expansion in gaming opportunities. Is there a number less than double that works, that makes a true economic impact for your businesses that we want to see succeed? Or does it have to be double in order for you to really get a meaningful impact?
We leave that to the wisdom of this committee, Delegate Buckle.
Okay, because I think that it makes a lot of sense, and as Mr. Sid indicated, and all of you, things don't stay static forever. Maybe it makes some sense that if you've got more than 100 or 200 people coming into your facility on a high market day, and they leave because they can't sit down on a machine for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it makes sense to give you some more. And I'm just wondering kind of where that delta lies. But I appreciate that.
We welcome the opportunity to work with the committee. Okay, definitely.
Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, we will bring up the next panel. Craig Romack, Larry Weinstein, and Emma Weinstein.
Thank you.
And you can start as soon as you're ready.
Let's have a seat. Why don't you start here?
Okay. Ready? Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the committee. It's my first time here today, so I'm honored to speak with all of you. My name is Emma Weinstein, and I'm employed currently at Atlantic Bingo Supply located here in Odenton, Maryland. Atlantic Bingo is the largest bingo supply company east of the Mississippi River, and we currently employ 62 Marylanders and support families and other businesses in our state. I'm here today to support House Bill 1587, which primarily increases the number of electronic bingo machines in the state and also accomplishes two lesser ancillary issues. One, it eliminates the paper requirement for which machines waste paper and is an outdated technology, and modernizes the law around handheld bingo readers for live call games. Nothing to do with electronic bingo, increasing the limitation from 54 card readers. Today, bingo faces incredible competition from other gaming interests in the state and from neighboring states like Virginia and Pennsylvania. I must remind the committee that bingo is here first. Traditional Maryland bingo has been played for many decades and has become a Maryland tradition. Not only in commercial halls of Anne Arundel and Calvary counties, but in the many fire halls, churches, and fraternal organizations Atlantic Bingo supplies throughout the state. The electronic instant bingo machines also predated Maryland casinos being legalized in Chesapeake v. Riddle in 2000. For companies like Atlantic Bingo, having the ability to supply more electronic instant bingo machines and service those machines would be a welcome boom for our company. Again, the competition we have faced over the years because of new forms of gaming has had a dramatic impact on our operations. I know today you will hear testimonies from halls as well as how they've been impacted significantly. Most importantly, this will mean added revenue to the state of Maryland. The Department of Legislative Services estimates the passage of House Bill 1587 will yield an additional $8.9 million in general fund revenue annually and $2.2 million in state special fund revenue. Local government revenue will also increase by $1.8 annually for Anne Arundel County and $253,000 for Calvert County. Thank you for your time today, and I urge a favorable committee report. Thank you.
Okay, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the committee. My name is Craig Romack, representing Delta Bingo and Gaming. We operate 2 locations here in Maryland, in Laurel, across from the racetrack, and Lothian, Wason's Corner. We employ approximately 150 Maryland residents. We have been in business in this state for 25 years, and for more than 50 years as a company. In addition to Maryland, we operate 18 locations in Ontario, Canada, offering live call bingo, instant bingo, Class II gaming, and even iGaming. We take our role as a gaming operator in Maryland very seriously. The safety of our guests and responsible gaming practices are a top priority whenever you enter a Delta Bingo. We're also deeply committed to the integrity of the games we offer, whether traditional live call bingo or electronic bingo. We are proud of our record and believe it reflects the seriousness which we approach this responsibility of running a gaming establishment. As others on this panel will discuss, bingo halls have faced increasing competition, pressure both within Maryland and from neighboring states. Passage of this bill will help businesses like ours remain viable and rapidly evolving and competitive gaming market. Currently, our operations contributes significantly to the state and local economies. In fiscal year 2023, we contributed $20 million to the state of Maryland, while also generating meaningful revenue for Anne Arundel County and Calvert counties. Fiscal projection for the bill shows additional benefits, including nearly $9 million annually to the state general fund, more than $2 million for special projects fund, and increased revenue at the local levels. We understand that the increasing number of machines at commercial bingo halls may raise concerns, as we are committed to work with the committee and find a balance and appropriate level. For those reasons, we respectfully urge a favorable report on House Bill 1587. Thank you, and happy St. Patty's Day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any questions for this panel? All right, well, thank you again for bringing the bill. We appreciate your time and testimony. Good to see everyone. And seeing no additional questions, that ends the bill hearing on House Bill 1587.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
All right, colleagues, we are going to break before voting. We'll take 5, and then we'll come back and vote on our suite of bills. And then I think subcommittees will be meeting after that. Are there any subcommittee announcements? Okay. Okay, local revenues. Delegate Roberson.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Local revenues will meet right after voting session for subcommittee bill hearings. Thank you.
All right, Delegate Ebersol.
K-12 Education Subcommittee will not meet directly after voting, apparently, but we'll meet as quickly as we can after everybody else. We'll try, we have about 6 or 7 bills, so we'll try to get started at 4 o'clock or sooner. And watch your text messages. I'll just give you a 5-minute warning.
All right, any other subcommittees? Okay, all right, thanks, everyone. We'll break and come back for voting.